Welcome to the webinar on assigning courses to students for skills-based report cards. I'm Beth Elliott, and today we're going to be going over how to assign the courses to the students so that you can produce report cards. We're going to do that by first changing to a homeroom filter or a year of grad filter to make it easy to assign the correct courses to the students. Then we're going to go in under Advanced Skills and go to Operations, and we're going to mass assign student classes. So if I'm doing this to start with, this is how I give the whole room worth of students their classes. And I can also use it to do just one or two students. To do just one or two students, I would use a student range. I would deselect and just pick the one or two students I want, or I can use that to select a whole room worth of students. So if I wanted to do the second grade, I could click in my list of homerooms, type a 2 to get the first student in that homeroom. I've already hit the deselect. I could hit it again if I need to, hold the control key down, click in that first second grade student, click back in the homeroom, look for the next grade, which might be a 2-1 or a 2-2, or in this case a 3. I'm going to come back to the left, hold my control key, and deselect from down, and now I have just the 28 students that are in that room. I could also have scrolled up or down to find that area if I needed to. I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to select the courses that I want to assign to that group of students. I can do that here with the course sections. And where I was doing second grade, I need to go into the P's for my primary and select the courses that have to do with second grade or that particular group of second graders. So there's my art. I'm going to click in the next one down, type another P, come down to my Christian values, and do that for each of the courses that I want to assign to this group of students. Now, when I'm in the intermediate report cards, I might need to pay attention to which group of students to say split between my intermediate of who has algebra or geometry or who has regular math. So it gives us the ability to select what I need to work with. And as I said, I can do up to 6 of these at a time. And I do need to remember to add not only the courses, but also things like the course called Notes that gives us the ability to, and these happen to be the pre-K ones, but I would need the notes in order to be able to put in whether or not they have a conference requested or what grade they're going to go to next year. So it gives us that capability. I would process. It would add this section to each of the students. When it gets done processing, it's going to ask me, do you need to update your enrollments? And you have the option that you can say yes. If you know you're going to be doing more courses, you can say no and wait till you're done at the end. Or you can do it to all of them. It isn't really going to matter. It doesn't hurt you any to do it each step. Once I've processed, and if they already have some, it's going to let me know and it won't add it again. So it says some of them already had them, and that's okay. This is where it's asking about updating the enrollments, where I know I have another batch of courses to add. I can say no. And at this point, I can just go from here and click down to the next class. So I did PE was the last one, so now I need to pick up religion. And I can continue to do that for each of the courses that are assigned to this batch of students. So it makes it as a nice quick way to put these in. The reset on the right would clear what's here. So I would start as a fresh list. If I didn't do this through a student range, if I selected everybody, I could also do it through an edit condition where maybe I'm doing it through their homeroom or homeroom teacher name. Or I can come in and say, oh, give me the students that are, say, 7th graders. I can apply that. So there's what I'm working with, and I can come back and add my courses. Remember that for the specials, I have a different course code depending on what grade level it is. So for grades 4 to 6, the specials start with an I. For grades 7 and 8, they start with a J. This is to allow us to give the specials for the 7th and 8th graders an A, B, C, D grade, where all the other grades use an E, P, and I. The other options I have here besides the course add are a course drop, where I can just drop the course from all the students. I can replace one course with another. So if I had forgotten on my students, I could have swapped one to another. And I could do what's termed a conditional add or a conditional drop, which means I'm using one course to either add or drop another course. So it just gives me a different way to work with it. If I was doing some of this, do I want to add a condition when the course used as a condition has a withdrawal grade? So if I'm doing this partway through the year, if I want to do a condition, if the student has withdrawn from the first section, do I want to add the second section? And that's what this question has to do. On any of these areas that we're working with, remember you can always go to the question mark, and it's going to give us the ability to bring up help for where we are, and it knows that, oh, I'm mass assigning student courses. It knows exactly where we are to bring up help on it. You can always right-click in here and print the area if you so need to. Go ahead and close out. Now this is if I was doing usually more than one student. Very easy to do if I'm doing, say, a whole room worth. The nice piece of when I'm doing the conditions by doing it, say, for the homeroom, is I can just come in here, go to the next room, apply that change so it's at the bottom, come back to my courses and up to the next area. Makes it very easy for me to work from one to the next. The other way to add this in is you can add it in as an individual student. So under Advanced Skills, More Editing Jobs, is I can edit the student class assignments. So instead of doing it on a bulk basis of multiple students, I'm now going to use my stack of folders to find the student I need to add in. So if I had a student such as myself that I needed to add courses into, you'll notice that when I picked up a student, if they already had courses and sections assigned, I'm going to see those. The G on the right is indicating that grades have been assigned. If it was a W, I would know that I had withdrawn from that section. But if I go to another student, not all of them have the grades there. But if I wanted to have a new student who came in as an 8th grader, and I wanted them into sections 81, then what I would do over here is I would click on the heading for section, and it would sort by that section number. So I can type my section 8, and I can scroll down and find that nice section. So there's the 81. I can then check the sections I want them to have. And if need be, I might need to, I don't want them in the regular math. I want them in the algebra. So I can scroll back up a little bit and take them out of the regular math. So it gives me that capability, and makes it nice for you to do that. And that's where grouping the section codes based on the homeroom makes it very easy for you to work with this. And then all I have to do is go to the next student, and these sections would be added to the student. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck them because I don't want to add them to this student. Now, it would be added to the student as soon as I either did a save and exit, which saves what I'm doing and closes out the screen. If I use the arrows to go from one student to the next, And left and right arrows go forward or back one student at a time. The ones with the vertical bars go to the first or last record. And the stack of folders allows me to go find the student that I want to work with. Any one of those items will save the record for me. If I go up to the printer button from here, I'm going to have the ability to print what courses and sections the student has. And because I came from the editor, I don't have a student range button. It knows exactly what student I'm working on. If I just go ahead and hit print, I'm going to be able to see the name of the course code, and we're not concerned at this point with credits. I just want to see what courses I've assigned for this student if I wanted the description besides the name of the course or the code of the course. But our course codes are pretty descriptive. So it just makes that a lot easier to work with. And that's how you add your students into the sections. Now if I click on the little GRD button up at the menu bar, that's going to bring up the student grade editor, the first tab of which is the student schedule editor. So that's where I'm also going to be able to see a list of the courses that the student has. And if I needed to, I could highlight, say, whichever math course they are, go up to the yellow plus. I can either add one or replace one course with another. So they have that capability to change what courses are there. So if I wanted to replace my Algebra 1, my algebra with the regular math class, I could highlight the math and then pick what period I wanted to work with. And I can move this off to the right by claiming the heading up top. And if need be, I can come down and say, oh, that's in period 1. So I might want to pull up the section that's period 1. This is going to show me the section number. And actually I don't need what period it is. I need to make sure I'm pulling it from the right section. So I want to go 82 to 81. I would highlight that. So it lets me see what's going on. And I would click OK. If I want to replace, I'm going to click OK. And it says I've opted to replace one section with another. Am I sure? I'm going to say yes. I'm allowed to do conflicts. That's a user account setting. Do I want to add this section? The answer is going to be yes. I'm conflicting this with music, and that's okay. Do I want to transfer my subject grades from my math course section 2 to math course section 1? And I'm going to say yes. Go ahead and bring my subject grades. And if I had skill grades, it would ask me, did I want to transfer those? And I could also say yes. If the two teachers of math, the two different sections, are the same teacher, the teacher will have the ability to go in later and say, I want to transfer my assignment scores from one section to another. So it just gives us that. And it also lets me know I dropped the class one from the other. We would recommend that you turn on the entry-exit date tracking, which gives you the ability to say, oh, I still have the course from one to the other, so that the teacher from the first section would still be able to see what's going on from the teacher, if need be, for the one from the other section. So it just gives you that ability to come in and look. So I'm going to go ahead and save and exit out of here. But that's how you add your courses into the students. To get a class list, I'm going to go under Scheduling and Print Class List. So if I wanted to get a hard copy, I could have to go over that. When you set it up, it wants to know, do all the classes, and since all our classes right now are year-long, I'm just going to build the list, and I can build the list based on the course section, the teacher name or number, the room, or the starting period. So if I wanted to look at, say, all of the courses for a specific teacher, I can go ahead and click on the teacher name and print the list. or I can opt to do it on the course sections and build. Any of those will work. So if I wanted, say, bring up my English class, I can go ahead and look at the report layout, which is right now set up as a portrait. I'm doing just one line. Right now the default is I want the ID number, the year of grad, the gender, and the homeroom. If I choose, I don't need to see year of grad. Maybe I only want to see the homeroom. That makes it nice for me able to see. If any of the students had health alerts, and this has been turned on for the particular user, you can opt to bring in the health alert. So if the student was asthmatic or diabetic, something that you might need to see, you could do that. You can bring in 2 additional biographical fields. So if I wanted to, I could actually bring in a report card. So I could see, did they have the report card name? And you can bring in a title at the top. And you can come up to the additional report and maybe print data that goes beside that. Now with the fields that I've selected with report card name, I have 80 characters used and I'm over by 14. So I might have to take this out and choose something else. But it gives me that ability to bring in another field. So if I go ahead and print, I'm going to be able to see the list of the students in the class and their information. Just to do a quick double check. And I could do that for any and all sections that I have. So remember, in all of these, you can always go to your question mark for help. We thank you for participating.